Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the RSF1 podcast. We got a change of host for today because Tomo is away for personal reasons. So I'm your temporary host for today, Primus Gaming, and joined with me I've got Element Snow, Peppermeat, and Top Notch. How are you all doing, lads?
You alright?
Hello, lads.
All good.
See, we've got a good old team now. We've got a team of 4 now, not like 3, which has been our usual. So the team is growing. It's good to see. So, yeah, lads. Right, so to get us started now, we just had Germany. We just had the 11th round. We're over halfway now through the season. So we're now going into the Hungarian Grand Prix. But we'll have a little look back now in the week that's just gone by. So we had real action Sunday through to Thursday. Real good racing. And I was watching over the lot in F2. And it was really, really intense. Really. All the racing going on. With Germany, it's just proven that rain always likes to make like a jump out of nowhere. Because not just in F2, but in I think 3 and 4, we had a bit of rain as well.
And F1 as well.
So
in quality.
yeah, F1 as well.
How did Turn 1 get on in Germany? I know that's usually a sore spot for mine. How did that happen? I didn't see any of the races. Turn 1. How many invalidated?
Horrible.
Many penalties was given out. Come on.
So going into F2, it was very interesting because we actually had safety cars. I think we had a VSC.
First time for everything.
Yeah, we had. The problem was though is we had some crashes. So I remember there was some incidents going into F2. There was a couple of cars crashing on track, and they all didn't trigger the safety car. Cross Kerry, he's doing his best. He couldn't carry on. He had to finish. He couldn't carry on with the race. He pits like normal. He follows the rules. He pits like normal. Been a good boy. And somehow, when he pits in and retires in the pits, the game freaks out. It's like, oh, that's a safety car. It doesn't make sense. Cross Kerry, he pitted normally. And the game just decided to have a complete mental breakdown and decided to send a safety car out when there was no incidents. And I know the man of the cash was really on the charge in F2. The man of the cash was really strong. I remember Bodder was really, really looking forward to seeing the man of the cash push. And he really did do really good work, but then that safety car just sort of did him in. But in the end, the one person who benefited heavily from two people actually, who benefited from the safety car was Brundle, who managed to come away with the win in Germany in F2.
Looking lucky git.
And actually Shane got his first podium.
What,
He
Shane?
did, didn't he?
Shane, yeah, he got second place and he got driver of the day.
Awesome.
Shane did really good. Yeah, so he came in second and he managed to take a little extra title away. And then Roberts, he struggled a little bit with Germany, but Roberts did manage to get through and take third place. So it was interesting racing with F2. The problem is I've been streaming all week, so I streamed F2, F1 and F3, so it's sort of hard to remember all of it when I've had to keep an eye out for so much. But it was really good racing from F2. There was so much action going on. But yeah, I would like to go on more of F2, but I'm struggling to remember all of the action that happened inside. So
that's fine.
I know you weren't actually in on F2 on Sunday, Peppermeat. I knew we was lacking everyone's favourite Irishman in F2.
Yeah, I was otherwise engaged.
So yeah, are you going to try and make your way back into the Hungarian Grand Prix?
Of course. What's that? Turn 4, is it? I hate that turn. You want to go flat, but if you go wide, they invalidate you. And I hate that turn.
Oh yeah, that's the fast left-hander, isn't it?
The fast left-hander. Yeah, you want to go.
That's
flat.
a blind.
Yeah.
That's a blind left-hander, I call it. It's absolutely horrible.
The worst
Absolutely
part
horrible.
is if you go way too fast going through, if you catch the curb coming out of that corner, you actually will lose the back end because you get too much of the curb. Hungary's a really difficult track, but we'll go on to the Hungarian Grand Prix after the recap. So F2. So I actually had the opportunity to work with Snow in his first ever commentating
F1.
session. So in F1, sorry. That's me being tired. I will... Shut up. I'm messing with you. Element, considering it was your first day in the com box, I'll let you go over the recap for F1.
It was a very interesting race. First qualifying one, 14 drivers, so they could all retire without any problem. Couple did a lap just to warm up their laps or tires, or just get a feel for the track. And then Q2 really kicked off. The track was still quite wet, but then it's when it showed the pace of F1, if I'm honest with you. A couple of unlucky people in F1 going out in Q2, and then in Q3, great pace. I think it was dry. Was it dry in Q3 again? Can't remember too well. I think it was.
I think it might have been. I think it might have been wet actually.
I don't know. I think it might have been dry to the end of it, though. I can't remember very well now.
Oh yeah, it was wet start, dry finish, I think.
Yeah. And then the race came very clean start from everyone. Battles for every single position. And then, we thought it was just going to be Dyslexic and Hush going to be battling for the win. I think something happened. They had a bit of a problem, and they both went off, which released Vettel, SF7, Ozza, and Gary towards the top three. And with them having penalties, Gary had 6 or 5 seconds. Gary had 5 seconds.
He still got second though.
Yeah, he did very, very well. Vettel did very well as well in his home Grand Prix, to be fair.
Yeah, Vettel was really happy to come away with the win. Ozza actually was
third.
He was struggling for grip from what I can remember, because Dyslexic and Unity both just had amazing pace, and he was doing his best to just catch up. And then after they made contact, it just allowed Gary and Ozza to manage to get by. And then Gary ended up taking driver of the day as well.
Well, Gary was on the reverse strategy, wasn't he? So he was doing hard to medium while everyone else was doing medium to hard. So even though he had the 5-second penalty, he had the best tyres, the softest tyre. So he could sort of push more. But at the end of the race, his tyres did fall off the cliff quite more than the hard runners, which you could tell, but still well done for second to him. And I think it was a great race overall. Great battles for every single position, as I said earlier. Just a great race.
And now we move... Oh, go on.
And I was very fortunate to commentate it for my first race.
Yeah, and also your first time in the podcast as well as a host. So
you
got extra treats for the week.
There you go.
Been a good boy, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I've been very fortunate, to take part in the German Grand Prix on Wednesday in F4. And that was a pretty interesting race because Q1 went from dry to inter conditions. So the moment the game started, I got the radio call from Digital Jeff saying, "Yep, we got rain coming in the next 5 minutes." And I thought, "Oh no, I've got to get out." And I rushed out. I set a time. I didn't waste any time. Managed to set a decent time. Then going into Q2, it went from full wets to inters, and that was quite interesting. All I needed to do was survive Q2, and then I could get into Q3 and I now get the luxury of choice in tyres for the start of the race. And going into Q3, it went from inters to dry, sort of similar to the F1 conditions. And I ended up qualifying 8th and getting in, and my teammate Alco Saints getting into 10th. And it was actually interesting because Wadders and Spiral Acerfacer both sort of had a bit of a rough qualifying session. So both McLaren and Red Bull, everyone knows that the Malibu twins are now rivals. It sort of solidified McLaren and Red Bull, their real rivalry. And then I think the top ended up being Toby in the top spot, followed by the Alfa Romeo in F4. The race start was good. I went from a hard to medium strategy. I think that was actually the best, following a little bit of inspiration from Gary, because Gary actually had a really good grip in F1. And in my practice, I just felt the hards were the best. They just felt amazing.
Yeah.
And it really worked out.
Yeah.
And in the end, so much happened in there. I was fighting Spiral for, I'd say 60% of the race. I was fighting Spiral. Then Spiral went off, unfortunately, because I spoke to him after the race to find out what happened, and he was going over his modes as he was going around the corner, and he accidentally went off. Because I've been doing that as well, we were both literally doing the same thing, because we were trying to harvest ERS while trying to fight each other, and unfortunately he caught a little bit too much of the grass going off of the Sachs curve, and just off he went. He managed to recover it though pretty well. And then after that, it was a fight against the Alfa Romeo, because Tidge had a 6-second penalty and McCracken had 3 and I had none. So Toby was just gone. He dominated the entire race, start to finish. He was gone. I couldn't catch him.
Yeah,
in the end...
Tomo.
Yeah, Tomo.
Speaking of Tomo, he says evening in the chat. Hey, Tomo, what's the story, man?
Oh, there he is.
He's in the chat.
There's the king. He's in the
Duffalump
chat.
says, am I naked? That's not a question to be answered right now. Braver Container says, I think there should be a background on this. Well, that's.
I think
not. Sure.
That's just the answer.
TXBZZ says, hello lads, what's the story?
That's Toby.
Toby,
that's
speaking of Toby.
F4's race winner.
F4 race winner, what's up?
Hey,
And
congratulations.
So in the end, F4 ended with Toby taking the win. Start to finish, he stayed in first. Then I was in second as well, and I got given driver of the day for being penalty free. Mm-hmm. And in third was Tidgosaurus, because unfortunately on the last corner, because it did look like McCracken was actually going to get ahead of Tidge because of his penalties, but McCracken had lost it on the very last corner, and I managed to overtake him in the last corner, and he just missed out by 8 tenths. And he was gutted, but I had to give my respects to him, because I've been fighting with McCracken for a good portion of the season, and he was just, it's been fun fighting him. And,
he's got good pace as well, hasn't he, McCracken?
He's fast. He's actually someone to watch out for in Hungary, because his TTs have actually been really good. Toby, however, Toby's struggling a little bit, but I think for the fact is that I think the time trials just, it's good to show, but it's too strict. So you see what times you're getting in time trials, but it doesn't really fully reflect on how your races will go, because the track ain't so strict in the league racing. Because I noticed areas where the game was being so horrible to me in time trials, I could go over normally in my race and it wouldn't invalidate me.
But then again, some places where on time trial you wouldn't get a penalty, you would get on qualifying or on the race. Yeah,
that is a good point, really. Yeah. But anyways, so it was Toby first, me second, and then it was Tidgosaurus third. And then we'll pass over to Top Notch, who raced on F3 yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a good race. Very good race, actually. Qualifying, Q1 was pretty normal up front. We Eastern and Moronics fighting out. Then we had Camo up there as well, which was quite surprising, I must say. And unfortunately, I think we lost Braver Container and Ace Air and Duffalump, unfortunately.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
but that was pretty normal Q1, other than Camo shocking us. And then Q2 was quite random, actually, because it was dry to start with. And it gradually just all of a sudden started raining from nowhere. So everyone rushed out of the pits to try and get it down and get a good lap in. And fortunately, it was myself that knocked out Easton, which is my teammate's rival in the championship at the minute, or gonna be, I suppose, with his pace. And going on to Q3, I believe it was Moronix and Daz.
Rhombus.
Yeah,
Rhombus
I remember.
was up front, and the race start was pretty hectic. It was a little bit of bumping and
Yeah, it was.
grinding, but we made it round.
Ooh.
We did make it round. There was a couple of little incidents, but not
Going into the
major,
hairpin, it was
really.
4 wide, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Jesus.
we got
It
into,
was 3 wide.
we got halfway
sorry,
around the
3 wide.
track, and there was a pretty big incident. I believe it was Brave had a little slide going 4 wide, which was just an unfortunate incident. And then
I got a good point of view. Oh, sorry to interrupt there, Top Notch. And it actually made me get really scared watching how Camo, because Camo, unfortunately, he span out in the beginning of the race and he fell all the way back after really good qualifying. And so he was quite far behind the entire grid. And then when the incident happened, it's like Camo was like inches away from catching a McLaren. And it like, you know, when you're watching something and how close it was, it almost like gave you anxiety because you're like, oh, of how close how close he was to being caught in that. But he managed to get through that. But yeah, that was a big one. But it didn't stop them from racing hard, like going forward though.
Yeah,
No,
it's nothing worse
yeah,
than
I
getting
think
collected for the front.
I think he had some good racing after that as well, so I think he'd be happy with it after the Turn 1 incidents anyway. Yeah, I believe it was Easton that went on to have a really good race, you know.
Yeah,
he come
Easton-
Yeah, he
seventh.
got third, didn't he?
So,
Pretty good.
yeah, who was
Yeah.
the top 3 then
Was it 11?
in F3?
Dazed Rhombus actually came away with the win in the end.
Nice.
in
First
the
win.
Merc. He managed to take pole. Moronix was in second, and then Easton actually. I think Easton was in P12
Yeah.
after being knocked out in Q2,
And then he got
and he
third,
actually got
didn't he?
into third place, and that
podium.
gave him driver of the day because he managed to filter himself through the entire grid, and then actually continue to challenge for the win. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough because Rhombus just had incredible pace, and Element, you managed to get into fourth actually. You managed
Yeah,
to
I
make up
did.
4 positions.
I managed to make up 2 positions, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, you started 6th, didn't you?
Yeah,
Had a really good race.
The thing is, once I saw, because I did my Q2 run on hards, so did my teammate Rhombus, and when we got through, I couldn't believe that I was in Q3 because that was the second time I've been in Q3 since the start of this season. And then I think my pace in the race is much better. So once we started off a line, I don't know how I actually got Falcon Legends even before turn 1. And then after that, I just tried to get third, but there was too many people and stuff. So, you know, when there's too many people, stuff can happen. And I think there was contact between me and someone, I can't remember who, but, you know, no one's fault, racing incident, I think. So, yeah, it went all right, got fourth. I think I battled Eyes. I think it was Eyes, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Eyes. Yeah.
yeah, eyes at the end, near the end of the race. I had mediums, he had hard. And then I got 3 second time penalty near the end. But he
Oh,
got
no.
another 3 on the same corner. But I didn't know, so I
Oh,
just kept
nice.
on pushing for my dear life. So yeah, I was like, I got 3. I was like, no, this can't happen to me now. So I just kept pushing, and I got him. He defended really well, to be fair. But yeah, really happy to come up with 4th at the end of that one.
That reminds me of France, actually. Back in F4, it was me versus Spiral Acerfacer, and I was ahead of him and he was behind me, and I got too much of a run into the second corner and I got a 3 second time penalty. But just as I got a 3 second time penalty, he got one as well. And I was ready to, because I had a plan B just in case Spiral got ahead of me, because I knew as soon as he got ahead of me, that is it. Like I can't challenge back.
Yeah.
So I was, because the gap between me and the car in 4th was over like 27 seconds, so I had the ability to pit, and I was just going to go for fastest lap of the race and stay on the podium. But then after Spiral got a penalty instantly after I got mine, because I was like, after I got my penalty, and then like he got one, and then my engineers are screaming, he's got one, he's got one, he's got one. I was like, and then like I stayed back out, and then actually managed to stay ahead of Spiral, and that's what I think is like amazing about race. Even though you have penalties, it's not the end of the race, because you never know what happens. You cannot call a race until you get to the end of the line, and that's what I love about the league racing, because you never know what's going to happen. Because I've had times where like I didn't even realise I was going to make up positions after a poor start, and then look, I've managed to make up a couple. You never say it's over until it's over.
Yeah, a friend of mine always says
until Peppermeat sings.
A friend of mine always says it's not over until the fat lady sings. So
Fucking
that's
get me
the
singing then.
truth.
I'll get singing then. I'll get
Let's get
singing.
Peppermeat in.
Then the race would be
Speaking of
cancelled then,
Peppermeat,
wouldn't it?
King
Red
Thomas
flag.
says, take the mick out of camo, lads. We'll try. Sure, we'll
I've
get
been
a bit.
prepping it up all day. Don't worry.
Route 915
Speaking
says
of
King Tomo. I'm not
Peppermeat,
sure what that means. Sorry, go ahead.
That's Rhombus's other name, because Rhombus was too long for Tomo, because he's so lazy. He decided to put him Root.
Hail King
But yeah,
Kent.
you're now a part of our team, Peppermeat.
Yeah.
It's good to have you here. And speaking of the chat, you got any questions to ask everyone for Peppermeat? Peppermeat will answer your questions. And
Get your
I am
questions
now waiting,
in.
because I know with Peppermeat in control, they've got questions for him.
Oh no,
Let me have it.
Primus! I think
Come
you made a mistake here.
on. He's left me in charge.
Well-
and he's gonna pay for that now.
Oh no.
We'll just give it a moment for Peppermeat, to get the first question in. I have a feeling I know who's going to ask the first question, and it'll be Tomo.
I thought he was supposed to be at a wedding. Where is he? I thought he was supposed to be at a party or something. Get a few
Yeah,
beers.
he's away.
Have one for me.
Have a few brews, yeah.
Yeah. Have a Guinness on me. Go on. Any of you ever taste Guinness?
Oh,
I like
God.
Guinness. I love a Guinness.
I
Never
can't
tried
drink
it.
this.
Ah,
No,
Jesus.
I've never tried it.
It's nice.
I
like
just
it.
have a complete intolerance to alcohol. I don't hate the taste. Some alcohol tastes really nice, but I just have a complete intolerance to it. So
Yeah.
it just completely disagrees with my gut, and then that's when alcohol's not really good for you, because you start talking to yourself, because it's just like, what's the matter?
Oh, yeah. Hail King Tomo says, I better not be naked. I am. Desmond says he is. I can tell. Jesus Christ.
All we just need for you to fulfill that promise is getting into a video call with Shane.
Oh, go on then.
Oh, God.
Call me later, Shane.
Oh. If
The
he's
funny
watching
thing
this,
is Shane might watch this back, and then like Peppermeat will be in bed, and all you're just gonna hear is like the sound of like the Discord call going off.
I'm like, what the fuck?
What are you wearing? Nothing.
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
There's nothing out of the ordinary. I'm a race
Is it too
suit,
hot in Ireland or
you
something?
know.
No, I just
That
Just
it'd be the same in winter. It's the same attire when it's winter.
technique I've developed.
It's just, it's just one season, is it?
Weight reduction. That's what we said as a joke. Like, I remember when we first went on to that, Tomo. Like, it was after the stream, unfortunately, because I wanted to like ask it, like say it in the stream, but we had not that much time. And Tomo came up with the best thing ever, and so it was like, you know, when you go into Parc Ferme after a race, you know, they make sure they weigh the drivers because the drivers, you know, they must follow the legal weight limits.
Yeah.
Peppermeat will be just stark naked, standing on the scale. You know, like you got Lewis Hamilton, you've got Sebastian Vettel, and then Starkers like standing on the scale.
The thing is,
All the way,
Can
lads.
you let go of your helmet? No, not that one, the other one.
the thing is,
That's
Peppermeat
what
doesn't
Tomo
need a
said,
suit.
and that killed me.
supposed to be
Doesn't need a
professional,
suit.
says
He
King
is,
Tomo. He says, I'm supposed to be professional. Unity Hush has a question here.
Ooh.
Since we are basically halfway through the season, who do you think is in the best position for each division? It's a good question, that.
Ooh.
That is very hard for a couple. So I know for a fact that F2 is still quite close because I know Magic Marks. I mean,
Yeah.
it was going to be looking like Skunk Burner was maybe going to go away with it, but Skunk
Yeah.
Burner's unfortunately been away.
Thank
Magic, it's very hard to say for F2. I know you're in contention, Peppermeat.
Am
You're
I?
in contention for the season. I think so. Yeah, you're
I can
you're a
check,
good driver.
I can check right now the leaderboard if you want, quickly.
Yeah, get them up there real quick. I didn't realise. I just
I
race.
believe
and then that's
everyone
it.
in F2 is quite close. Anyone that win would jump up.
Yeah.
quite
Are we gonna have
considerably.
a year-end
Yeah.
award ceremony as well? Is that what we're gonna have as well? where do I click?
Unfortunately, Peppermeat, it's sad to disappoint, but you will have to be clothed for that.
Where do I collect my awards? Come on.
At least like wear a piece of just like wear a piece of clothing. We don't specify, and he just comes in like shoes, just
Right.
shoes.
So after round 9, Austria, it was Skunk Burner, Magic Marks, Peppermeat. You were third.
Okay.
You were 14 points behind Skunk Burner, and then it goes Brundle, Roberts, Joshua Dosh. I think that's the man with cash, isn't it now?
Yeah, that's Man with Cash.
Bother forcing to change the name. Yeah, so it's quite close.
I think Magic Mark is in a pretty good position for F2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Skunk Burner's gone for
Yeah.
a while, so Magic Marks is pretty much nearly up there. But the thing is Brundle's on the rise in F2. Going on to F1, currently right now, Unity Hush has actually got quite a comfortable lead into the championship. I think he's got a load of points, so you know he can have the odd like race where he doesn't score any points, but he's been pretty dominant when it comes to F1.
Well,
And I know Dyslexic's a good challenger for F1, but right now Unity Hush is still quite high in the championship.
Didn't he go from like 14th or something at Silverstone to first? That was a
15th
yeah,
he started.
the-
He started
Great
15th, didn't he?
was a championship
Yeah,
winning drive there
15th
by
place.
Unity Hush, if I say so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After
So
round 9 in Austria in F1, Unity Hush had 130 points, and the closest person to him was Ozza with 59. Gary, 59 away from him. Sorry. Gary was 65 away from him, and Dyslexic, who is battling, who battles him basically every single week. In Austria, he had 39 points. So
do
he's
keep
nearly
in mind though,
he's nearly 100
Dyslexic
points behind him.
Dyslexic started F3, then went
Yeah.
F2, then went F1. So you know he's not fully got to be able to begin at F1 to like get some points.
He's
But
done
he
multiple
he
steps
went
in.
from being an F3 driver to move immediately up to the top and fight for the lead. You know,
Yeah.
Dyslexic is a quick driver.
And who the hell put him in F3 in the first place? Come on.
I have no idea.
I blame you, whoever it was.
Whoever it is. And then F4, it's still quite close. It's between Tidgosaurus, Spiralacer Facer, myself, McCracken, and actually now Alco Saints, because Alco Saints was, before the German Grand Prix, he was only 2 points behind me. Spiral was a few points ahead of me, and Tidge was about 7 points ahead of Spiral. And my second place finish in Germany puts me higher up now in the championship. I'm now second again, because Spiral finished, I think he finished like 5th. McCracken and Tidgosaurus finished 3rd and 4th. You know, Tidge 3rd and McCracken 4th. So Tidge has lost a little bit of ground to me. So I'm now getting a little bit closer to Tidgosaurus. So F4 right now, it's so hard to say because the lead keeps on changing. Because at one moment it was me, then it was McCracken, I think, and then it went to Tidge. And now Tidge is actually starting to have me gain back on him. So F4, we cannot say.
And Toby's going to
too
be
hard
up
to
there
say
as well soon, isn't he? Because he keeps
Toby,
winning races as well.
He has 75 points, and all he just needs to do is get another victory, and he's instantly into the top 5 challenging for the championship.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you what,
fast.
about F4, the constructors is very, very close. Alfa Romeo after Austria, after Alfa Romeo were first, Red Bull second, and McLaren third, and the gap from McLaren to Alfa Romeo was 51 points for top for those three. So it's been a very close fight for constructors as well, hasn't it?
And
been
then
very good.
Let's go on to F3. Moronics. He's in the lead. He's definitely in the lead. Easton did join little. Yeah, Jace Lee is second. Easton is making his way up because, you know, Easton only just joined, like, maybe, say, a quarter into the season. And he is quick. He is definitely fast. To battle Moronics, he was, like, dominant in F3, is now getting a real... his real rival is starting to put the pressure on him. But Rhombus has actually got a good point score from winning Germany. I know he's not quite close enough yet to challenge the championship win, but you know that puts some good points on the board for Mercedes after Germany. Yeah. So I think it's definitely Moronics. Jace Lee's second, and I think in third.
Bodder, I believe. Yeah.
Was it Bodder?
Bodder.
Yeah. It's Bodder. After Austria. Yeah. Oh wait, here we go. So after, I think it was last week. Yeah, after last week. So this is Silverstone. Moronics was 179 points. Chesley behind him. Then Bodder. Then DPS. Then Element. 4D, and then Rhombus had 18 points near the bottom. So Rhombus is catching up quite quickly.
Yeah,
so I think it's going to be pretty good.
Right, so going after that, I think it's time now to introduce our special guests for tonight. So we were going to have 3, but unfortunately one of them is having internet problems and he will not be able to make it. So can we invite our guests in and introduce them as they come?
I'm not doing that.
So our special guests for tonight was going to be Camo, Duffalump, and Jake Moore. So Jake Moore cannot join. He unfortunately has got internet problems, so we'll just have Camo and Duffalump.
Camo, lad.
Have you got Duffer?
We've got Camo. We've got...
There you go, Duffalump is in.
There he is.
Duffalump, make sure you take the audio box.
Is that working?
Include your audio.
That's working. I think I've done it.
There we are. So, unfortunately, guys, you are not safe from the chat because, you know, everyone wants you to. And by everyone, I mean Tomo. So,
Yes.
Don't know why.
Hail King Kent.
Oh, Jesus.
It's on.
He's not going to be happy with that. He's
King
not gonna be
Kent.
happy with that.
Come on.
Cam, I
You
just
know
want
it's
to remind you that he commentates over F3, just to let you know. So
Good.
So guess who's not going to get any screen time?
I don't anyway, so it's fine.
Anyways,
yeah.
so you two lads, you know, you both raced yesterday in F3,
Try to.
and we'll go over, you know, how you felt with how F3 was like, you know. Then we'll go over a little bit more questions in the stream.
Okay.
If we get any.
So,
It's stuff from
well, we'll get some.
Yeah.
Yes.
How you say?
So we'll begin with Duffer. Actually, you know,
Go for
we'll
it.
get Duffer to give his insight on how his race was.
Well, I did qualify on the wheel, and we all saw how well that went. I qualified last. And then I switched to the pad for the race because Germany's just too tight to be on the wheel after I think I had it like 3 days. And I basically didn't even know how to steer until about 4 hours before when Camu told me. So, yeah, I didn't do
You
too
just
bad.
turn the wheel.
It's not as easy as it sounds.
It's hard,
Yeah,
man,
so doing this
actually.
stuff. Brilliant.
But no, I made up 9 places, so I was pretty happy with
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
And I got top notch at the end as well because of penalties. Have it. Thanks for that.
Tom, just rub a little bit of salt in the wound there.
I
bit of
couldn't
salt
catch
in
up
the
with him,
axe
but then I
wound.
noticed he got another one, so I just got it.
And are you feeling good for Hungary coming up?
I got a wedding on Friday, so I'm staying out Thursday, so I'm missing it, unfortunately.
Where's my invite?
So you're not going to be able to attend.
Where's the
Yeah.
No, you got to get the man of the party, and you know you got to get Pepper Meat in there.
Where's
It's
my
going to be
invite?
bad enough as it is with the lads that are going, so I don't need pepper meat there. Just blasting through the door naked.
Yeah. What the? No.
Please don't make him the ring bearer.
Oh no.
You know that box is the only thing that's giving coverage.
Oh.
You probably wouldn't have it.
As soon as they take the box away from him, it's like, yeah, you've sealed your own fate here.
I've got no bloody clothes on now. Come on.
It's just, I know it's gonna be like a cold, brisk October as well, so you know.
Patrona says, I have a
So-
question. Let's get it in then.
Oh yeah, let's get Patronus in before we jump onto camo. Not
Yeah,
literally.
Come on, man. Just waiting for him to. He just says, I have a question. I have to wait for him to send it first. So go ahead, continue on.
Should I continue?
If it's literally just gonna be, I have a question, and then just nothing, and
Yeah.
you know, we will send Pepper Meat after you, Patronus. You may be
I don't know.
teammates, but it doesn't mean you're safe.
I'll take him off if he doesn't stop messing.
Right.
So what we'll do is we'll go over camo, and then
Oh,
we'll
God.
go over Patronus's question after camo. So camo, if you give us your insight on your race, and then we'll get to Patronus's question.
I mean, the less said, the better, really. Q1, Q2, I qualified within like the top 3. Q1, it rained. Qualified 7th on the grid. First corner, I got punted into the wall, lost my wing, and then I just basically battled for like 13th till 2 laps till the end, and then I spun into the wall.
Oh,
That was
no.
my race.
Yeah, neither of you and the Renault team really finished really because old Mancy he didn't crash but he retired. He just didn't want to continue, and old Mancy put it into the pits and retired.
Yeah, lap 1
So
was
you
carnage.
know, yeah,
Just what could have been there.
Your heart was racing when you managed to filter your way through.
Yeah, I was making my way up, and then yeah, everything just went downhill again. I had good pace though. Like I gained like on 20 seconds in like 20 laps, I'd say, on someone because there was a crash as well. So now I thought, oh, I'll make myself up, might be able to get a point, but yeah, no, weren't meant to be.
You win some, you lose some, really. In
Yeah, I can't
racing.
complain. Last 2 races I've had 3rd and 5th, so I can't complain.
You had really good pace
Yeah.
lately.
King
Yeah,
Tomo
the
demands a
wheel- the
drug
wheel's
test for
changed,
Camo's
hasn't it,
podium in
Camo?
Austria.
Yeah. We still don't know how you got that camo in Austria. That is mental.
It's just pure skill. No, it's, I think
No, it's just Jake Moore. Camo, it's just Jake Moore.
what did he say?
It's Jake Moore, just telling you every single thing about the race.
He
and
wasn't. No,
just
he
panicking.
He wasn't engineering that race. He went
Hey,
in the
what?
party. No, he wasn't.
No, I don't think we had an engineer that race.
He didn't. He was out.
Oh right. Oh sorry. I
A
don't know.
good pace around Austria.
Yeah. I thought you were going to catch me at one point. You held me up in the pits. That cost me a potential second.
Yeah, well,
Still not happy with that.
Tyres
I mean, it
were on.
ruined. Camo ruined his size,
Glorious.
so I don't think you can complain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here it
it
comes.
ruined my chance of second or first. Well, not even fair. I would never have got first. When I went into that pit stop, the first stint, I was less than a second off from Rolex. I came out 5 seconds behind him. Yeah. Never mind.
Anything on Patronus's question, Pepper?
Yeah, he says, where does everyone think Tomo is from? And I can go
Kent,
first. There you go.
Kent.
He's from Kent then, I guess. There you go.
Not
That's the
me.
end of it. Nah, me.
Not me.
Nah, me.
I
Not
mean,
me, mate.
And Tomo is now probably regretting watching this stream. This stream's going to be like
This-
a bad
is-
memory for him. He'll just be like,
This
no,
is the
episode
real
3 hasn't
you didn't
happened yet,
wanna
lads.
turn up.
and
No, mate.
Camo and Duffalo,
Yes.
how are you feeling for Hungary then? Are you confident or?
I think I'll be all right. I don't mind. I've done about an hour's worth of practice, and I reckon I can get into the 15s on TT, like a 15.7, if I put the lap together.
Yeah,
I
that's
will
good.
be drunk, so I don't really know. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm not going to
Duffer
be there.
won't be able to attend.
I like
Will
the
you be
fact
watching
that-
us on stream though?
What,
He's
drunk
at
at...
a wedding.
No, I doubt it, no.
I would just.
He'll just
the
be
only
like,
reason I'm asking
pretty
is
colours.
if you do, I would like to see the comments you leave.
I'm best man as well, so I can't really just sit at the top table watching the stream.
Like, why don't you take Peppermeat with you? You know, he'll remind you to keep an eye on the stream, you know.
Yeah.
He'll video call the comms team, you know, just...
I'm not video calling Peppermeat. Absolutely
Why
no
not?
chance.
Why not?
No.
What's everybody got against me?
Your nakedness.
Shane and Tomo won't have a problem.
True. Shane loves it.
Eventually, like, Peppermeat has just, like, he wants everyone, you know, to join the trend, you know. You've got to at least, like, game naked. That's what Peppermeat wants everyone to do.
Yeah, I was playing pro clubs earlier and I had a game and I was naked, so yeah, there you go.
I
Running down
wouldn't
the
be
wing
able to
with no
sit
clothes on.
properly
How unnerving
if you're
is
gaming naked and you're playing football.
Oh, running down the wings with no
Puffball.
blooming clothes on.
I mean, you got like games like Saints Row, you know, where you can, you know, just streak in the game. You know, you can play Stark and then, like, you know, you can game Stark. But it doesn't really work for football. You know, you got one of like the best strikers in the country. You know, and he's just decided to say, you know, oh, screw it, I'm just gonna not wear anything.
Tomo says, "Don't take
It will
Peppermeat. He will
suck.
cause an incident with his helmet." Gee, which one?
Still, he goes into football. He's like, excuse me, sir, you're not allowed to take your helmet on there.
Oh, leave my helmet out of this.
Well, so have we got any more questions from the stream?
Yeah, get
That's
your questions in. None at the minute. Get them in.
Got, you know, we've got a little bit more time, you know, before
Yeah.
we
I
wrap
think we
up
should
for
do
the
a poll
evening.
for where Tomo's from.
That just
Essex
goes
or
up on
Kent or
Twitter, and
unknown.
you just have like 2 options and then other,
Yeah.
and then other will be in brackets, not bloody Kent, which is what Tomo will want put in there.
Where is he from then? Is he from Kent or what? Come on.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's from Kent.
Alright.
You can tell he's learning this.
Patronus.
And he's
Tomo
from
says you'll deal with
Sheffield.
Patronus later. He said,
Tomo's
Patronus
probably
says
going to
he-
drink this night away.
Yeah, and Camo's skill. You have no clue. Incest. Oh, Jesus now.
Oh!
What is
Hail
that
King
about?
Tomo. King Tomo is screaming Essex for some reason. I don't know why he's screaming Essex when he's from Kent. Whatever.
Maybe he likes to go there for holiday, I don't know.
He must like it because I don't know what he's. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh,
There's nothing wrong with being from Kent.
you're just
Someone
going to
interesting.
hear, like, whenever anyone says Kent, you're just going to hear, like, in the background of their microphone, the sound of a shotgun being loaded. Just, what did you say, sunshine? And then
You
just,
blooming
That's
you know,
another class.
complete
That's another classic
silence.
Tomo's saying.
What do you
Yeah,
mean,
complete
sunshine?
silence, and then a single gunshot. And just when you thought it was a joke, he's thrown the corpse out of the back of a van.
yeah, he said he's not from Kent. He's from Essex. He's lying now for some reason.
Why'd you lie? Lie on the podcast.
Why would you lying on a
Can't
podcast,
be
an
doing
official
that.
podcast for RSF1? Come on, less of that now.
Expect better,
like,
Tomo, we expect
we've
better.
got to have honesty.
Oh yes.
Oh. I know for a fact when we broadcast next week's episode, he is going to go off on one
We're in
about
for it.
how we were about how free is gone.
Come on, I don't think you ever be in the podcast ever again.
We'll make it good while it lasts.
Yeah, well. I mean, we had a
Yes.
good amount of questions. We had Unity Hush, we had Patronus, and I think we had one from Tomo as well at the beginning.
Where you where's Tomo from?
Jonas says he's got a pic of Tomo wearing a shirt that says "I love Kent." Jesus.
It's similar to like the I Heart New York sort of
I
shirt.
heart,
but
I heart Kent. Yeah.
He's not going to be happy because it's been like 60% talking about racing and then 40% just saying he's from Kent.
He's from Kent. What's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it.
Actually, no. Tell a lie. 10% talking about Peppermeat and his nudity obsession.
I'd say that's probably 20%.
Yeah. Because
People wanna
Duffer,
keep-
you are taking him with you. He's a guaranteed. He is coming with you to that wedding.
Yeah.
He's the entertainment. You're
I'm gonna be
hire a
there whether you like
band
it or
and all
not.
that. He's going to find out where you live. He's going to plant a tracker on your car, and then he's going to trace you down to where the wedding's going to be, and then he's going to join in.
He can come if he likes, but
I won't be
don't
getting
think
in.
they'll appreciate it. Yeah. Well,
You
not
just
to
hear
make
the
it.
sound of the church
You
door
actually put some clothes
storm
on.
open.
Bong, bong,
No,
bong.
You have to
he'll
wear
he'll have
clothes
a
for at least
flower,
an
but
hour.
you can't pin a flower to like bare skin, so just sellotape it to him. So, a bit of sellotape or blue tack, just pick out a daisy from outside, just stick it on.
Jonas says he's going to put it as his profile pic on Xbox, and King Tomo says he's travelling to Blackburn to deal with him, whoever that is. Who's in Blackburn then?
Patronus, I think.
No, I don't live in it. Oh, so we know who's getting targeted.
Oh, Patronus, you're in for it now. Tomo's on his way from Kent down to Blackburn. Come on.
That's a long way.
Well, so I think that we should
It's been a good one.
probably wrap it up there. 'Cause it's not normally as in depth as we normally do, because I think Tomo he manages to bring up some sort of stuff more, but I've had a bit of a long week when it comes to streaming and hosting, so I'm a little bit tired. So
Yeah,
but
poor
we
Prime,
managed to
she's
get
getting
onto
help
the
from
main
outside.
stuff. Have a
Patronus says I live in Blackburn. Sorry to hear that, Patronus. Pretty sorry to hear that.
he's just gonna. I think the only real safe way that Patronus can survive Tomo is if Patronus actually moves to Kent.
Oh Jesus.
And then Tomo's going to be like, no, I'm not from there. He's going to stay away from it. That'd be like your safe zone. But anyways, do any of you like to have anything to add on top before we wrap it up for tonight?
No? Can't wait for Sunday. Rally the cars.
I'm
around
just
Bulgaria.
excited for Hungry now. I'm very hungry for Hungry.
Yeah.
That's it,
Now
man.
here
I might
comes the
just cringe.
puns. I think that is where we really will end it now.
Oh, sorry. So you end it there, but you don't end it when you talk about Duffalump going with Peppermeat to the wedding when Peppermeat is naked. Okay, all right. I see how it is.
Okay.
No, because
Peppermeat, you can
I
be my
mean,
plus
we-
one.
Okay.
Peppermeat on karaoke.
I need to be a +2 though because I've got big balls.
Did you say be bald?
Yeah.
No,
No,
I'm not gonna say it.
I'm not gonna repeat what I just said.
You know how I said promise? You know how I said at the end, at the start of this, the podcast, the race is not over until Fat Lady sings.
No, the wedding won't
The
end
wedding's gonna be
until
over as soon as Peppermeat
finishes.
sings.
Second I sing,
Yeah,
it's
just
over.
and then just everyone leaves. It's like, hey, you going? Peppermeat should do the hymns. You know, the priest will just hand the book to Peppermeat, and then
Bam, 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 bam. You do not want to approach a priest
we will
naked.
not be using the official hymns. We will be doing the hymns of F1.
Yeah. Oh
But
god.
anyways,
I'm sweaty.
We'll wrap it up.
After
How are
that
you
one,
sweating?
yeah, we
You're
are
not
gonna wrap
wearing
it up after
anything.
that one.
I know. I'm just sweaty sitting here.
All right, well, we'll wrap it up for tonight. So,
Yeah.
thank you to our two guests. It's a shame that our third had a bit of troubles getting in, but thank you to Camo and Duffalump for joining us for today's podcast. And also, I'd like to say thank you to Element Snow for stepping in for Tomo, and a big welcome to Peppermeat for joining our podcast team. He's going to be a permanent member, so you'll be hearing more
You
from
got
our
some new
favourite
members.
naked Irish F1 driver, And then you got myself, and you got Top Notch.
Bile.
So I haven't really got much to say, but other than that, thank you very much, guys, for watching the 4 races that have just gone by in Germany, for joining us in the podcast. I think we've got at least up to 8 viewers for today. So, we didn't get too much like we normally do, but 8 for today. It's not too bad. So, yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. Got some good questions, had a good laugh, and please join us back in F2 on Sunday. You want to cheer on Peppermeat?
I'll be there.
You can, yeah, he'll definitely be there. So join us with F2 on Sunday in the Hungaroring, and we'll see you in the podcast next Friday at 8 p.m. and we should have the team back. So we'll have me, Tomo, Peppermeat, and Tom
Element
Notch.
Snow.
So you have the 10 back. Element Snow, we might see you back in here again just in case.
Yep.
But until then, mate, thank you
Thank
for
you very
coming on,
much.
and yeah, I will see you all later.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
Ta-da.
See you later.